It starts quietly. As you wake up, the systems are already watching.
Artificial intelligence doesn't just see you, it understands you faster than you realize.
Your devices, your data, your life. Privacy, once a right, now feels like a luxury.
In 2025, the surveillance isn't science fiction, it's the system, and you're already in it.
Imagine a world where your streetlights could be turned off by hackers, where your smart trash bins call the fire department for no reason, or where an AI doesn't just answer your questions, but takes real tangible action on your behalf, like processing a full refund and scheduling a replacement all in one go. Today, we're taking a deep dive into two incredibly intertwined and rapidly evolving landscapes, the world of AI agents and the intricate security and privacy challenges of smart cities. Our mission for you is to pull out the most important insights, giving you a comprehensive understanding of what these technologies are, how they're changing our daily lives, and the critical questions we need to ask about their safety, reliability, and impact on human autonomy.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here is how quickly these technologies are moving from, theoretical concepts to practical applications, often with very real-world implications for public safety, personal privacy, and even the very fabric of how our cities operate. We're going to try and connect the dots on how these advanced AI systems are being designed, the unique vulnerabilities they introduce, and what's being done, or maybe what needs to be done, to safeguard our digital and physical spaces.
So to start, what exactly is an AI agent, and how is it different from the chatbots many of us have become, familiar with? Because they really seem like a transformative advance.
That's a great question, because while they both interact with us using language, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is pretty profound. Think of a traditional chatbot like a very, rigid script reader.
Okay.
If you ask it something it hasn't been programmed for, or you try to go off script, it just gets stumped, might apologize, maybe give you a link, or, worst case, just hand you off to a human. It's reactive, lacks memory, doesn't really have nuance.
Right. Like if you told a traditional chatbot, my package arrived damaged, I need a refund and a replacement, it might just say, sorry, and give you a return link, or maybe, I've created a ticket, someone will email you. Basically just pushing you somewhere else.
Exactly. Now an AI agent, it's in a different league.
Mm-hmm.
It's built with much deeper intelligence. It can instantly verify your order details, initiate that refund, schedule a pickup for the damaged item, and arrange the replacement delivery all within the same conversation, often without any human jumping in.
Wow.
That's what we mean by real action-taking abilities. These agents can decompose complex problems into smaller, manageable subtasks.
Mm-hmm.
They can reason over information and crucially learn from feedback.
That's the key then, the ability to not just understand but to act. So how does an AI agent actually do all of that? What's under the hood?
Okay, so to really get how an AI agent operates, maybe imagine it like a super competent personal assistant, but for the digital world. First, it needs to see and hear everything happening. That's perception.
Taking in inputs.
Right. Text, images, sensor data, whatever its environment provides.
So, it's not just passively listening. It's actively observing its digital surroundings.
Precisely. Then, like a seasoned problem solver, it engages in reasoning and decision-making. This is where it breaks down complex problems into subtasks and thinks through the information it has. For instance, these goal-based agents aren't just reacting to your immediate command. They're designed to proactively pursue a broader objective, figuring out the most efficient steps to get there. It's like giving it a mission, and it strategizes the best way to accomplish it autonomously.
And crucial for that autonomy is memory, right? Because without it, every interaction would be like starting from scratch. Groundhog Day.
Absolutely. Memory is vital. It's how it maintains context across interactions. It's sort of like how we categorize and link information in our brains, right? To retrieve it faster. Agents have, episodic memory for interaction histories, semantic memory for conceptual knowledge, and working memory for what's relevant right now. This allows the AI to feel less like a temp chatbot and more like an ongoing conversation partner.
Okay, that makes sense. And after all that thinking and remembering, it needs to do something. That's the action component.
Correct. This is where the agent executes its plans, using the appropriate tools it has access to. And finally, and maybe most powerfully, there's learning and adaptation.
Getting smarter over time.
Exactly. It continuously improves its performance based on experience and feedback. There is this technique, reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF. It's really powerful for aligning the agent's behavior with what humans actually prefer. And this continuous adaptation is just essential for keeping the agent effective in dynamic environments, making sure they get smarter and more aligned with our needs.
So it's this whole loop, perceiving, thinking, remembering, acting, and learning that elevates these AI agents, moving them from simple tools to autonomous entities that can handle complex, multi-step problems. It's a big leap.
It really is.
Which, really begs the question, how are these capabilities playing out in the real world beyond just the theory? What truly brings these AI agents to life isn't just their design, but the incredible real-world impact they're already having. I mean, think about this. From your customer service call to how doctors make diagnoses, these agents are quietly revolutionizing how entire industries operate. Let's look at some examples.
And this is where the efficiency gains become truly staggering. In enterprise applications, for instance, especially in customer service. Wow! AI agents are handling a massive volume of inquiries, troubleshooting, processing requests. Take Vodafone, the telecom company. They deployed an AI agent system that now handles over 70% of customer inquiries without needing a human. That reduced their average resolution time by 47%.
47%? That's huge for the company and the customer, really.
Absolutely. And beyond customer service, these agents are revolutionizing business process automation. They can orchestrate complex workflows, adapt to variations, handle exceptions pretty intelligently. Imagine agents running 24/7, reviewing customer returns or shipping invoices, helping businesses avoid costly errors. One major logistics company used AI agents for shipment documentation processing. They cut error rates by a staggering 83%.
83%?
Yeah, and processing time by 62%. It's transformative.
So the overall impact across businesses is pretty clear then.
Oh, definitely. We're seeing productivity boosts from 35 up to 70%, cost cuts between 25 and 50%, error rate drops of 40 to 85%, and even user satisfaction jumping 45 to 80%. These aren't just minor tweaks, they're fundamental shifts.
Then we have these specialized domain applications, where agents are tackling really complex problems, like in healthcare.
Right? AI agents are providing clinical decision support, analyzing patient data, medical literature, generating diagnostic hypotheses or treatment recommendations. One major academic medical center actually improved diagnostic accuracy by 23% and cut the time in diagnosis by 37%.
Incredible. And in education too.
Yeah, in education, AI agents are acting as personalized tutors. They adapt instruction to individual learning styles, fill knowledge gaps. One study showed students using agent assistants scored 28% higher on coding assessments.
Wow.
Even something like travel and logistics planning. AI agents help research destinations, book accommodations, coordinate transport, adapt plans on the fly.
Uh-huh.
Users saved, on average, 67% of their trip planning time.
So, looking ahead, the future outlook and job impact. The vision seems to be AI orchestrators managing networks of specialized agents. That definitely needs strong compliance framework.
That's the idea. And the prevailing vision, or maybe the hopeful one, is that agents will augment human workers, not just replace them. The repetitive stuff leave the critical thinking, creativity, emotional labor to humans.
Though IBM estimates 40% of workers will need reskilling in the next 3 years, that's a lot of change.
It is. And we have to acknowledge the counter-arguments. Some experts do point to a potential risk of extinction for humans. Others predict massive unemployment. They say the AI revolution will be as huge as the Industrial Revolution.
That's a sobering thought.
It is. So, as these agents get more capable, it leaves us with this fundamental question. Will businesses prioritize human-agent collaboration, or will they focus on replacement? The current trend, well, it shows massive capital investment in AI. Private AI companies grew 130% in market cap. It's a real bonanza, especially around specialized tools and aiming for full automation, not just chatbots.
We've just seen the incredible power and potential of these AI agents, but what happens when they're not just on your screen, but woven into the physical fabric of our cities? That shift to smart cities, well, it brings a whole new set of security and governance challenges we really need to unpack.
Indeed, and it's different from the corporate world, isn't it, where you have clear roles like a CISO or CTO?
Mm-hmm.
In smart cities, you've got all these disparate third parties, system integrators. It makes defining clear governance models, and especially risk ownership, much more complex.
Yeah, who is ultimately responsible when something goes wrong? That's a huge question.
Exact.
And the kinds of threats we're talking about, they're not just data breaches. They can have real physical consequences, like energy smart street lighting, hackers gaining control, turning off lights. That directly impacts public safety.
Or think about smart electric vehicle meters, attackers manipulating them to avoid payment. Seems small, but it adds up.
And that smart bin hack you mentioned, it sounds almost comical at first, blocking signals so bins don't get emptied.
Right, but it's not just an inconvenience. It can be a gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine compromising heat sensors in those bins to trip false fire alarms, wasting critical resources.
Wow, okay.
It really highlights how even seemingly minor connected devices become vulnerabilities. They can disrupt essential public services. It's a shift from traditional IT security, where, the physical wasn't usually part of the cybersecurity threat model.
Totally. And the data itself in smart cities, that presents its own unique risks, doesn't it? This whole data supply chain.
Yeah, data passes through so many hands. Integrators, cloud providers, insight miners, presenters. The potential for corruption or manipulation grows at each step. Municipalities really need assurances. That means security testing, solid contractual obligations like SLAs.
And maybe things like codes of connection for secure data exchange between, say, neighboring smart cities.
That becomes critical. And what's really unique here is the physical accessibility of components. These smart technologies are out there. Parking sensors in concrete, tech bolted onto street lamps, bus stops, smart bins.
Right out in the open.
Exactly, which means a much higher potential for physical tampering, and monitoring hundreds, maybe thousands of distributed sensors across a city. That's a massive challenge.
That brings us to edge computing too. Great for reducing latency, right? Like smart traffic lights, processing camera feeds in real time.
Definitely. High performance, closer to the source. But it also raises issues around potential physical access, manipulation, or just disrupting those devices out on the street furniture.
So when we talk about technical security controls, they become even more critical, but maybe have unique limitations here.
For sure. You need solid sensor and gateway authentication and authorization. You can't have rogue sensors just injecting bad data.
Makes sense.
And encryption is absolutely essential, especially for things like LP1 systems to stop data interception or replay attacks. But here's the catch. Those low-cost, tiny sensors might not support high-end encryption, so we might have to make concessions on algorithm strength, key length. Trade-off.
And for critical systems like traffic lights, availability is just non-negotiable, right? They have to stay up.
Paramount. So that means redundancy, having duplicate critical components ready for failover, and really careful capacity planning for future growth, so you don't suddenly hit a wall.
And finally, asset management. Just knowing what's where.
Crucial for security incidents. Knowing exactly where assets are, their metadata, when was it last updated, battery replaced. You can even use tools like Google Earth with GPS coordinates to track everything from gateways to bins. It gives you that complete picture of the interconnected landscape.
With all this power and data flowing through our cities, a critical question naturally emerges. What does this mean for us, the people actually living in these smart spaces? Specifically, the impact on privacy and human autonomy.
This is fundamental, isn't it? The whole idea of human autonomy, our right to self-rule, to sort of author our own lives. It's incredibly precious. It's core to our well-being, our dignity, and because it's so important, it places this really strong responsibility on us, on society, to ensure technology respects everyone's ability to make their own choices.
But AI systems,
Okay.
they can subtly or sometimes not so subtly undermine autonomy, can't they? Dynamically personalizing choice environments, nudging us, maybe even manipulating our behavior.
Exactly. And when we start deferring more and more to algorithms, you have to ask, are our choices still truly authentic? Algorithmic decisions, often based on past data or group trends, might just not be sensitive to an individual's capacity to author their own life, as you said.
And sometimes it's not even subtle. There can be direct interference with practical agency, like AI literally limiting your freedom.
Yeah. Think about delivery robots blocking sidewalks, or facial recognition failing to recognize you, so you can't access something you need. These are real, tangible impacts on daily life.
Then there's the whole realm of informational and decisional privacy. Controlling your personal info, sure, but also controlling whether others interfere with how you live your life.
Right. Some information is just private knowledge. It's simply not appropriate for others to have views on it, and a violation happens when data flows in unexpected ways, maybe because data policies just get changed without real notice.
Which leads directly to the really profound ethical questions around AI surveillance versus privacy rights.
Huge concerns here. Algorithmic biases, for one. Facial recognition tech, for example, often performs inconsistently across different groups. That heightens systemic bias, increases the risk of mistaken identification. It absolutely needs human oversight, a human in the loop.
And just the feeling of being watched.
Yeah, the sense of being constantly surveilled by AI can make people feel strange, creepy, even naked, as AI records and analyzes movements, often without meaningful consent.
There was that big 10-country survey on public perception of AI and privacy. It found nearly half, 49%, expect less privacy because of AI in the next 10 years.
And their concerns were pretty clear, weren't they? The huge amount of data needed to train AI being misused or hacked, data and inferences revealing really personal details, data collection happening without real consent.
It gets deeper, too. People worry AI might infer things they prefer to keep private or reach profound insights about them they aren't even aware of. Like it might know us better than any human possibly could.
That's unsettling. And many feel forced into this trade-off, right? Giving up private info for useful features, feeling like they're losing some privacy in exchange for more efficiency. Interestingly, men specifically showed more concern about AI being used for surveillance or government purposes.
And wrapped around all this is the issue of regulatory inertia and legal fragmentation. Tech is moving so fast.
Way faster than legislation.
Yeah.
It leads to these fragmented rules. Powerful tech companies can exploit gaps between jurisdictions like Clearview AI scraping social media for biometric data in the US where comprehensive laws were lacking.
Which makes international cooperation really difficult too, with unaligned laws.
Exactly. And public trust is just crucial. We saw that in Canada, right? Officials ended collaboration with Sidewalk Labs' Smart City project partly because of public consultation and undefined data management plans.
But then in South Korea, people supported contact tracing, but only if data collection was limited and anonymous. Trust was key.
So this is the crux of it, isn't it? How do we balance the undeniable benefits of AI in smart cities with these profound implications for human rights and autonomy? It requires a really deliberate, human-centered effort to make sure people stay in control.
That's the challenge. Okay, so how do we move forward? What strategies, what frameworks are essential to make these powerful technologies reliable, trustworthy, and respectful of human values?
Well, first off, we need robust compliance and governance frameworks. Organizations using AI agents need to dedicate real rigor, real fervor to data and AI governance. And crucially, human oversight and collaboration are essential. It's not just human in the loop sometimes, it's more like human always in the conversation. Fully hands-off autonomy, often just impractical. Agents will make mistakes.
So constraining them, involving humans leads to better outcomes.
Demonstrably so, especially for tasks that are medium complex. It just works better.
Okay, and beyond oversight, how do we ensure the systems themselves are actually reliable?
Right. Ensuring AI reliability, that involves correctness of predictions, robustness when things get tricky, and transparency in decision-making. Explainability is just paramount for building trust and accountability.
Being able to ask why.
Exactly. Imagine being able to ask an AI, "Why did you make that decision?" There are new methods emerging, like Lime and S-Shape, that can basically pull back the curtain, show us which factors the AI prioritized, makes it less of a black box, much more auditable. Systems are just more likely to be embraced.
And a major part of reliability is also addressing biases in training data, isn't it? We know biases can creep in and worsen existing societal problems.
Absolutely. Things like gender and racial biases in hiring, lending, even law enforcement. So strategies here include active debiasing techniques, making sure datasets are diverse, setting ethical guidelines for data collection. It's about designing fairness in from the start.
And applying basic cybersecurity principles.
Yes, the core cybersecurity principles apply to AI: confidentiality, integrity, availability. The good old CIA triad. That means rigorous threat modeling, identifying attack surfaces, potential threats, hackers, criminals, nation-states, and figuring out their likelihood and impact. Plus, there are unique AI-specific vulnerabilities: poorly secured training data, biased algorithms, sensitive data being exposed through model inversion attacks, or those adversarial attacks where tiny changes to input cause huge errors.
So we need strong legislative and societal responses too.
Definitely. Look at the EU AI Act. It's a landmark. It prohibits certain high-risk AI systems, regulates general-purpose models, enforcement relies on detailed codes of practice.
And beyond laws,
There are urgent calls for social dialogue, investment in digital skills, inclusive transition strategies to handle the societal impact. We need ethical awareness, inventive lawmaking, civic leadership,
correct.
to prevent AI surveillance from becoming, a totalitarian system of control.
Concepts like privacy by design,
Essential. Privacy by design, security by design, integrating safeguards right into the architecture from day one. This also involves using privacy-enhancing technologies, PETs, like differential privacy, adding statistical noise to data, or federated learning, training models locally without centralizing raw data.
and maybe using simpler models sometime?
Where feasible, yeah. Using simpler, inherently interpretable models can absolutely promote transparency.
So given this rapid pace, these complexities, how can you, the listener, meaningfully contribute to shaping this future? Ensuring innovation really serves human well-being. We've taken a pretty deep dive today into AI agents, exploring their incredible capabilities from task automation to personalized healthcare. And then we zoomed out to look at that intricate dance between smart city technologies, cybersecurity, and our fundamental rights of privacy and autonomy. Hopefully, you now have a clearer map of this rapidly changing landscape, understanding not just the opportunities, but the real challenges and the critical need for, thoughtful design and vigilant oversight.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway is this. The future of AI and smart environments, it isn't some predetermined path. It's really a continuous negotiation between technological potential and human values. Your understanding, your questions, your engagement with these issues, they're vital for making sure these powerful tools truly augment our capabilities and enhance society, rather than accidentally undermining the very autonomy and privacy we cherish.
So as you walk through your own city or interact with the AI tools in your life, maybe consider, where's that line between convenience and control? And how can we as individuals and as a society ensure that our collective future is one where technology truly empowers us rather than dictates to us?